Hey, let me bring you this way. All right, there we go. So today I want to go over some of the cruise policies as far as vaccinations and stuff like that go. Just the other day on a video, I announced that NCL has updated their vaccination policy and extended the date, and that has been extended out to December 31st of 2021. But let's go ahead and take a look what they have directly on the website. So there we go. That's much, much better. So if we take a look here, let me scroll up here. All right, now I believe that I had said before that they actually coined this phrase, and this is their phrase, safe or sail safe. So let's read what it says. It says, you want to cruise. We want to keep you safe. With Norwegian, our leading health and safety program allows you and your loved ones to cruise with the ultimate freedom and confidence. All guests and crew are required to be 100% fully vaccinated so you can feel safe, or so you can safely do what you've always wanted to do on a cruise. That means everything. So let's get back to living life to the fullest together. Sail safe, feel free. Now you see that they do have a sail safe health video here that you could go to. So this is on their website. Just in case that you have a hard time finding it, let me back up for a second here. So when you go to ncl.com, you don't see anything up here, right? Come right up here to explore and then sail safe. So click on that, and then it'll bring us to this page right here. Now, as I said, that they extended the date out to December 31st. So let's just quickly look at this. Benefits of 100% vaccination requirement. So cruise masks, no cruise masks. However, there are two asterisks on it. That means you look down here, on Europe sailings only. Currently, local government regulations requires all guests to wear masks on board. Refer to the FAQ section for complete details. So there's a lot of stuff here. I've said it before. I'll say it again, and I'll keep on saying it while we're in these troubled times. Go to the websites of the cruise line that you're looking at. Take a look to see what the policies are. Did it change or did it not change? If you made your reservation and you're not traveling for another 90 days, you don't have to check every day, but you definitely want to go there once a week and take a look. So let's continue with this. The cruise mask free, breathe freely, and witness smiles everywhere you go. Like I said, not here in the U.S. or any of our Caribbean ports or U.S. departures. No social distancing required. Get up close and personal with confidence. Everyone on board is vaccinated. So that's what they're shooting for. Oh, also, because everyone must be vaccinated, and currently vaccinations are not available for kids under the age of 12. If you're a family and you've got kids 11 years old, 10 years old, 5 years old, 2 years old, you're not going. Or if you're going without them. All right? All restaurants and experiences are fully open. No restrictions on shore excursions. No capacity restrictions. Surround yourself in safety. And again, there are different asterisks and things like that for some of the statements up here. As government regulations evolve, our health and safety protocols will evolve as needed to ensure compliance. This may mean different protocols from ship to ship based on local requirements. Again, down here with the two asterisks, European sailings, you don't have to wear the masks. So there's a whole lot of different stuff in here. It gives you little examples of what they do. Universal testing and pre-embarkation protocols. All guests will be required to take a COVID-19 antigen test administered and paid for by the cruise line prior to boarding and receive a negative result. Guests are also responsible for complying with all local health and safety requirements, which may include additional testing. So go to the websites, check. Be very thorough about this. Also, since if you are going on this cruise and you have to be vaccinated and you have your little vaccination card that proves that you've been vaccinated, you may want to consider taking a picture of that, okay? snap a picture. Many of us have cell phones, and keep a digital copy of that. So, again, there's just a lot of information. And here are the FAQs. You can go down here. I'm not going to take the time to go through all this. You can go right to ncl.com. And like I said, you could go back here, ncl.com. And under Explore, just come down to Sail Safe and click on that. All right, so let's go to the next cruise line. All right, so we're at Carnival's website right now, carnival.com. So just like with NCL, Carnival updated their protocol on August the 14th. All right, so let's go ahead and continue down with what this says for the vaccination policy. It is recommended that guests have the contact information, email, and phone numbers immediately available of the healthcare provider, or wherever they got their vaccination and vaccination card from. So that's just in case there's any questions, that you're going to have it there immediately so you could be helped out, or so they could find out what is going on. You know, that could be anything from, okay, we have a discrepancy on the name. There's an I here, should be an E, or there's an I at the end of Stacy instead of a Y, that type of thing. That's just a possibility. Or whatever other questions that the cruise line may have about your vaccination card or proof of vaccination card. Also, it says here, guests are strongly encouraged to review their vaccination records and ensure they meet our standards, as well as have proof of their negative COVID-19 test results prior to traveling to the cruise terminal, to prevent a situation where they may not be able to cruise or be eligible for a refund. That's a huge thing right there, you guys. You need to make sure that if for some reason you are vaccinated and you go to a cruise and you get to the port of embarkation and they do a test or whatever it might be, and they find that you actually have COVID. Some places may word it as COVID-like symptoms, and they do not let you board. Are you going to get a refund? Now, some of these cruise lines are not offering refunds. That brings me to another point that I mentioned from yesterday's video. Make sure that your insurance that you have or that you have purchased for your travel, this goes for anything, whether it's cruising or air travel, land travel, that insurance that you have will ensure that you are taken care of medically from wherever in the country or wherever in the world that you might be, plus that it provides air transportation or whatever means of transportation that you need to get back stateside or wherever you're from. That's hugely important. As many of us know, last week there was a situation where a group of people went to the port of embarkation. Somebody tested positive. They were not allowed on. So they were just left, pretty much standing at the pier side, waving bye-bye to the cruise ship. And there was no refunds on that. All right, so anyhow, let's keep going down here. It says, for cruises departing the U.S., the CDC requires both vaccines in a 2-dose series to be the same type. Okay, so that's a question that came about earlier, aside from travelers, is the people in general public saying, okay, I got my first vaccine. I'm having a difficult time of scheduling the second one of the same type of vaccine. Can I have the other kind, and will it count for a final dose, a full dose? Right here, it's spelled out. It must be the same. If you're doing the 2-shot vaccination, it must be of the same type. Okay, you can't do Johnson & Johnson and Moderna or this and that, so that doesn't work. So it has to be of the same type. For some of the other information here, it goes on to talk about unvaccinated guests. So on unvaccinated guests, Carnival will continue to welcome unvaccinated guests, including children under 12 who are not eligible for vaccine. The application process has its own set of procedures that must be carefully followed. These exemptions for children and adults are not guaranteed and are capacity controlled based on the total number of vaccinated guests projected to be on board. All right, so again, make sure that you do your due diligence and follow up with your cruising information. If you booked with the travel agent, ask the travel agent to get the information for you. And this is another reason where I mentioned that using a travel professional is a really good idea. They can assist you with some of this stuff. So, not some, hopefully, they can assist you with all. Travel insurance requirements for Florida and Texas based ships, as it says here. Unvaccinated guests sailing on a ship departing from Florida or Texas must show proof of travel insurance coverage. And this is at the time that you're checking in. So you have to show that you have that additional insurance information, additional insurance that will cover you if something happens to you. Now, this is for the unvaccinated folks. But as you can see, there's just a lot of information here on Carnival. So we've gone over Norwegian Cruise Line and Carnival. They vary slightly on policies. So be sure to read up on whomever you are cruising with or cruising on. Let's go to the next cruise line. All right, so we're now at the celebritycruises.com website to take a look at their vaccination protocols. So in the upper left-hand corner, you see where it says View Health and Travel Requirements to Keep You Healthy at Sea. You want to click there. Once we do that, of course, just like with all the other cruise lines, everything, it is going to bring you to the page where all the stuff you need to be aware of is right here in black and white. Or, you know what I mean. I don't know what color they're going to use for text, but black and white. So, it poses the question, ready to sail, ? And here we are. Healthy at Sea protocols. So, right off the bat, where local government regulations differ, we comply with local requirements. We will continually evaluate and update these requirements and protocols as new information becomes available. So a lot of cruise lines are doing that. They're basing it on, the sciences, the tests, and things like that. Whatever information they're getting, they are adjusting to that. So it continues to say that booked guests will be advised of the latest requirements leading up to departure. Although it says that, you don't want to wait for the information to come to you. I've been saying it over and over and over. Make sure that you go to the website and you find out for yourself. If you book through a travel agent, check with your travel agent, see if they have any new information. If you're cruising 90 days from now, you don't have to go there every day and check the information, unless you want to. But if you're within, say, 30 days of departure, you definitely want to go there maybe every other day at least to check things up. And then for me personally, if it was within 2 weeks, I would probably be checking the websites daily. Anyhow, for an overview of protocols by home port country, click here. So if you click there, this is what it brings you to. This is kind of nice. It shows you, where you're going to be: Galapagos, Greece, the Flora, the Expedition, the Apex. So it's got the ship, and it's got the destination or the location of the departure of the ship. UK, St. Martin, US, Alaska, etc. So you can see right through here that, as an example, it has vaccine policy. So it's broken down, again, by ship and destination. And then home port country requirements, which may differ from from one port to the next or one country to the next. And then Celebrity Cruises boarding requirements. Just a quick thing here. So as an example, in Greece, for international, if you're coming from the States or wherever else, Celebrity will administer a complimentary antigen test at the terminal to all guests 2 years of age and older. On some sailings, unvaccinated children under 12 will be required to take a preliminary PCR test that takes about 40 minutes to complete. So here's another really important thing, you guys. PCR tests are different from the antigen test. So when you're reading certain things and it says, go take a test within 72 hours, 3 days before your cruise departs. Don't just run out and get an antigen test. Make sure, is it PCR or is it antigen? So you just want to make sure that you take the right test. Because if you take the wrong one, you show up at the port of embarkation and you're supposed to have taken the PCR test to show negative results, and you've taken the antigen, and they look and go, this is not the right one. I don't think you'll be going. Okay? So again, this is for Celebrity Cruises. A lot of good information here. You get to look down here, while on board. Of course, we want to make sure that we stay clean. You know, if there are hand sanitizer stations around, use the hand sanitizers to clean your hands before you go in and eat or go out to eat. Or if you come back in from shore excursions, just wash your hands. So that's a very important thing. Is just keeping your hands clean. And right here, healthy at sea. So they even have a video. So you come to the website, click on the video, and watch the video, and they give you some more information. More information down here. You can find the latest CDC traveler advisory right here. So again, all the cruise lines are doing the best they can to keep us informed, but it is, the way I look at it, it's up to us really to stay informed and to be informed. All right, use this as part of a tool to keep yourself informed. Okay, so let's go on to the next cruise line. All right, so now we're at Holland America's website, and you can reach them at hollandamerica.com. So let's take a look here. So nothing on the upper part. You'll want to come scroll down a bit here. And right under where it says travel well, staying healthy while traveling, this is where you're going to go for, as it says, health protocols and frequently asked questions. So if we click on this, health protocols for your cruise, your health and safety are our highest priorities. Our 2021 cruises are available for guests who have all of the following. So, receive their final dose of approved COVID-19 vaccine at least 14 days prior to the beginning of the cruise. Proof of vaccination, proof of negative viral COVID-19 test, PCR or antigen, taken within 3 days of their embarkation. And it says, note for guests embarking in Europe, we recommend all guests take a viral test within 3 days to travel to avoid travel disruptions associated with a positive result. In addition, we are conducting mandatory COVID-19 antigen tests at the pier pursuant to the the EU's Healthy Gateways protocols. This test will be complimentary, and a negative result will satisfy our new testing requirements. Please find additional information on health protocols, frequently asked questions below. So here again, review all of your travel protocols, download the Navigator app, bring required documents, personal hygiene, medical stuff. Okay, frequently asked questions. Sailings from the U.S. or sailings from Europe. Let's just click on for details for from the U.S. Since I think many of us like to or want to go on a Caribbean cruise, and if you're departing out of Miami, out of Florida, that's U.S. Oh, so let me stop here and start the video over again, because you probably noticed that my picture-in-picture image is frozen. I have no idea what's going on with this. So let me jump over and fix that. All right, so I got it fixed for now. So hopefully it works for just a short bit. Again, under the frequently asked questions, as it says, and this is for the U.S., what requirements must be completed prior to boarding? You click on that. It tells us about the negative COVID-19 test. This is, again, they're effective of departure starting August 14th of 2021. So you got to answer a health questionnaire. Will travel insurance be required? Can I purchase independent coverage? And as it says, given the current global travel and health environment, all booked guests are strongly encouraged to purchase travel insurance prior to departure to protect against losses. For eligible guests, CPP, Platinum Insurance, that provides a broad range of benefits, including for COVID-19 related expenses. Subject to the plan terms, guests can also purchase a third-party travel insurance as well, and should check with the provider for specific details on their coverage terms and policies. So what I kind of talked about this also before. If you have your current insurance and it covers things, or you think it covers it, make sure it covers what you need. If you are a U.S. citizen and you're going out of the country, make sure that your health plan covers international coverage. So some of us might think or say, hey, I'm only going to the Caribbean. I'm only going down to, St. Kitts, St. Martin or whatever. No big deal. Well, international. Your medical insurance may not cover. If you're 10 miles offshore, but you're not U.S., it may not cover. So make sure whatever insurance that you purchase or that you have, that it covers everything that you need. Flights, international, medicine, transportation, all of that stuff. Okay. Like I said, it goes on. Can I book back-to-back cruises? Will testing for COVID-19 be available on the cruise ship? Can I book pre-cruise hotels, et cetera, et cetera? All this stuff. And then we come down to vaccinations, all available on Holland America's website. And you see there is a lot of information here. So be sure, once again, if you're cruising on Holland America, go to their website and make sure that you are up to date and informed on everything that you need to know before you depart for the cruise ship. Okay. Oh, so as an example, if you're departing from Florida, I'm just going to say if you're departing from Orlando, nothing there yet. But if you are departing from Orlando or you're going to Miami and you're going to Disney World beforehand and you're there a week prior and you say, well, you know what? I took my test to be allowed to go into Disney World. I don't know if they have any requirements on that. I'm just saying this. And you say, so I guess that should satisfy my requirements for the cruise ship because I did it a week ago before I got here. No. If you are in that port of embarkation 7 days prior to going on the ship, but you said I took my test 3 days before I went there, that doesn't count. It's 3 days before the departure of your ship. So before you board the ship, it's 3 days from there. If you had to take a test to get into some other destination, vacation place, and you've been there for 4 or 5 days, and then you're ready to jump on your cruise ship, what you did 7 days ago does not count for the cruise line, which means you're going to have to make arrangements and find some place local to your port of embarkation to take that test, okay? Because it is 3 days prior to the departure of your cruise. All right, so enough here on this one. Let's do one more cruise line, and then we'll call it good, because I know this is probably getting a little bit lengthy, and we see that there's a common thread here. And the most common thread, the commonality of this is be prepared and be informed. So let's go ahead and jump to the next one. All right, so here we are at Princess Cruises, and you could get there by going to princess.com. So just like many of the other cruise lines, you're going to find the information readily available to you. Some cases you might have to look for it on the website, but for the most part, it's just right there on the first page. So on Princess, upper left-hand corner, update, stay up to date on canceled cruises. Oh, that is another thing. You might want to go to the cruise line website to make sure that your particular departure has not been canceled. But today we're taking a look at health protocols. You know, they have travel advisories here and stuff too. So let's click on that. And while this is launching and getting prepped, I just want to say thank you very much for following. Thank you for subscribing. If you have not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing and be up to date with whatever information I bring out to you. Now, with that being said, I want to add one more thing. I know the video froze again, so I apologize. And if it freezes on this one, I'm just going to still keep on talking and just bring in the information. So my apologies on that. I don't know if it's a new piece of equipment that I purchased or what's happening. With any case, let's take a look here. Under Princess, Cruise Health. Cruise Health frequently asked questions overview. So again, they kind of break it up here. Sail from the United States. So we could click here and see what it says. And this is for cruises departing October 31st. So, you know, some of these others, we were saying that they went into effect on August 14th, or they're immediately in effect. So again, just make sure that you're up to date with whatever cruise line that you're going on. So here we go. This was updated on August the 11th, and today is August 19. So Princess continues to work with the United States Centers for Diseases Control and Prevention, CDC, on finalizing onboard health protocols. Cruises are available for guests who have received their final dose of an approved COVID-19 vaccine at least 14 days prior to the beginning of the cruise and have proof of vaccination. So it's the same story again across the board. You're going to have to have proof of vaccination, and you're going to have to follow these protocols. So again, double check with everything in case things have changed. So it says COVID-19 vaccination requirements. Are these cruises only available to COVID-19 vaccinated guests? Yes. These cruises are available for guests who have received their final dose of an approved COVID-19 vaccination at least 14 days prior to the beginning of their cruise and have proof of vaccination in accordance with the CDC guidelines. Proof of CDC or proof of COVID-19 vaccination and the dates given will be required and will need to be shown at the terminal prior to boarding. Failure to provide this evidence will result in denial of boarding. All right, so we've said this across the board with all the cruise lines. If you're having to show proof, make sure you have proof, okay? There is no age restriction on the series of cruises, but guests of all ages must be fully vaccinated. Well, I kind of smile on that one because right now we know that vaccinations are not available for some of the kids under 12 years old. So when they say it's open for everybody, as long as you're fully vaccinated. Coming down here further, guests should always ensure they understand all requirements to travel from their home country and to the destinations they plan to visit. And that is very important, especially if you're international, you're coming into the States. Don't go by what the EU has for cruises out of Europe. Make sure you are aware of the cruises from the U.S. port. You may say, well, I'm going to the Caribbean, but you are actually departing from a U.S. port. So make sure that you are up to date on what is necessary for the U.S. departures. Okay? For guests on voyages sailing from Southampton between September 30th and November 3, 2021 on Regal Princess and between October 5 and November 5, 2021 Sky Princess, all guests 18 years and over will be required to have completed their vaccination course a minimum of 14 days prior to sailing. All guests 17 years old and below will need to have completed their vaccination course a minimum of 14 days prior to sailing, or will require a negative PCR test within 72 hours prior to travel. So slightly different, again, from some of the other cruise lines, okay? So that's why you're going to want to make sure that you go to the particular website of the cruise line that you're taking and take a look. Are there breakdowns for the cruise ship, destinations, or is it a blanket coverage for the entire cruise line and their fleet of ships? So that's it. Let me see if this is going to work. Yes, here we are. So, by the way, that's exactly right. I shits you not that you need to make sure that you are informed of all of these protocols on the particular ship you're going on. I'm going to say it again. If you're sailing 90 days from now, sure, you could be up to date, concerned about certain things, but you don't have to check on it on a regular basis, meaning daily. If you're sailing within 30 days, I personally would advise that you want to take a look every other day. Now, if you are within 2 weeks, I would definitely be looking every single day. Did anything change? So there you have it. I don't want to keep you folks here any longer than have to be. Once again, thank you very much. If you have subscribed, if you haven't, please consider subscribing. It should be someplace like over down here or something like that. So please subscribe. Please make a comment. Be gentle. Be kind. Let's turn this into a community where we just have conversations about cruises, and let's go beyond cruising. Let's bring in travel in general. My name is Chuck Tuck. Have a great day. Stay healthy and go see a movie. So long.